It says in the Bible, it says that we are in the world but not of the world. And what that means, what that means is that you don't have the same drive. You don't make the decisions that are just natural humanistic decisions. Not to say that humanists are this way, but that that you don't act like people in the world who are chasing after stuff and chasing um, after pride and merit and trying to make themselves look high and mighty and important, and just like what Trump did, where he was just saying, I use big words, I use very good big words, and he was really just trying to get people to think well of him, or just a grandiose sense of self-worth is the idea there. But it's also kind of just paying attention to what people in the world don't do, um, because there's no monetary incentive involved in it. And I kind of weigh that. I do something that's somewhere in between. What I do is I today I picked up trash on the side of the road, and that's exercise. It's literally exercise. And I could show you all the trash that it was literally so much trash that it was a kitchen bag I was using, and it tore the bag so much that I had to throw it in a local trash bin, to a neighbor's, and I just left it there. I felt like, hopefully they'll recognize that there's stuff in there. I picked up like two or three what looked to be like, there were things that had batteries, and I think they were those e-cigs, that had been pretty much trampled. There was like there's a couple batteries, a couple like AA batteries, pieces of the bumper of a car, and then one I couldn't pick up because it was embedded in the sand. Lots of little pieces of plastic. Sometimes I just go for a piece of plastic, or go for something thinking it was something significant, and usually was just a shred of a little thin piece of plastic. But sometimes I'd go for something, and I'd think, oh, that's just a shred of plastic, and it turned out to be something that was metallic. In one case, I picked up a nail. I found a razor blade. And so I was just thinking, these things, this might have popped somebody's tire and caused a wreck or something like that. So, and I noticed another thing is that of the houses that were, and this is a fast, kind of a common street where people tend to frequent, and the people that had their houses facing that road, and I'm sure those people kind of think, yeah, really, this is a great home, but it's opening up to a really fast thoroughfare, and we just really, would rather live someplace else, and it gets often trashed up, and so on those properties there just tended to be a lot of trash, and I mean they just can't afford people to go out there and clean up that trash. That was where I found most of the trash, but in the gated communities, on their side, their lawn was completely green, and they had people paid to go out there and take up the trash. And I would find little pieces here and there, but nothing very significant. If there was anything, it was really embedded in the ground, and you had to kind of rip it out. And I found a box, and I put that inside my bag, and that kind of helped to keep the piece of the car bumper that I had from tearing into the bag. I guess it was the box was kind of holding it steady. And I found a cup that had some maggots in it, and it looked like um, it was like a IHOP cup or something, and I don't know what was in it. It looked like it was maybe eggs or something in the bottom, and there were maggots and ants, and I had to slap that thing and let go all that stuff, and I threw this all into a kitchen trash bag. Uh, there were pieces of rope. There was a rope that was attached to something inside of a box, a plastic telephone box or something. Uh, I found somebody's deck of business cards that in the rain had pretty much stuck them all together, so they were just one complete unit. Uh, and a bunch of plastic bottles that people, they drink from, and I'm sure it was just plastic bottles that are sitting in somebody's truck that just kind of found their way out onto the street. Because that happens. People put stuff in their truck thinking that it's going to sit back there, and for some reason the stuff finds its way of getting out of the truck and it ends up on the road somewhere. Found beer cans, Red Bulls. There was one case where I tried to go up and get some trash that was above a culvert, and the culvert had this kind of steep slope. It was about a 35 degrees slope, and after I climbed it, I thought, or it was like 20 degrees. It was like 20 degrees. It wasn't really bad, but it was bad enough that I was afraid I might fall. So I thought, oh, I'm not going to do this again. Next time I'm going to get my grappler. I could go up there with my grappler. But the way I saw it is I saw it as exercise. And the reason why it's so easy for me to go around and pick up stuff like that is because I used to work at a grocery store. And before COVID, this is what I was doing. I was experimenting with seeing how much stuff I could pick up off of the parking lot grounds, and I got the parking lot to be so pristine and free of trash. I mean, there were no cigarette butts. I picked up cigarette butts. I picked up trash. Just any kind of thing. And I found out the best time to pick up trash is after the rain, because then it gets to be like a rag, and then you just pick it up, and you don't have to chase after it like on a windy day. A windy day is the worst time to pick up trash. You don't want to pick up cigarette butts in front of people that are smoking, because then they assume that you're picking up cigarette butts as a kind of a, just to say to them that you don't really like them smoking or something. And they'll ask you, and you'll say, no, the reason why I do this is, and I'll go into explanation, and that really is the reason. And the idea is that when you're walking by trash that's on the ground, and you see the same piece of trash every day, then it makes you think there isn't anybody in the world who really cares. You just do the equation. You run the equation. You say there aren't anybody who really cares enough to pick up that piece of trash. And so the thing is if you just, as a Christian, this is how you can be in the world but not of the world. Fairly simple. Just pick up trash. Because nobody else will do it. Because there's no monetary incentive in it. And, it's exercise as far as I'm concerned. And so you're walking down the street, and walking's fine, but walking with picking up trash, and then walking with picking up trash and singing songs. Because if you sing the song, then the people are going to go, oh, this is somebody like me. This isn't this isn't somebody that's being paid to do this. This isn't somebody that's say retarded or something. not to say there's anything wrong with people that are retarded, but if you give them the idea that you're thinking individual, then they don't feel bad that you're out there and afraid that you're going to hurt yourself or something like that. So if you sing, then they realize that you have a mind about you and that you're careful, and then they don't have any reason to be concerned about you. So I would sing, which is a breathing exercise. So you're doing a breathing exercise, you're walking, and you're picking up trash, which um, is basically your toe touches, and bending over and doing your various sorts of toe touch exercises. And by the time I'd get home, I'd be drenched in sweat. I could hardly move. There were times whenever I would be like trying to sing a song, and I would be out of breath, and I would have to stop. Otherwise, I would just pass out in the middle of the street. And so, um, by the I sung. As I was coming into our street, I sang "Working in the Car Wash Blues" by Jim Croce. Then I sung um, then I sung "Don't Mess Around with Jim," and then I sung um, "Trailers for King of the Road." And let me see, did I? How far did I go with this? I think I did another song. Oh, I did "Sultans of Swing" on the way up, and I went under the trees where the shadow was, so that I could cool myself off and go through the back door. Um, Greeted by my mother, and she was like, you know, I had to tell her that I was singing as a part of an exercise of being out there walking and stuff like that, because you get these people that run by and they're jogging and stuff, and I could jog, but that's I could also sing, and that would just be the same effect. The other thing is I could just imagine myself going down there and doing that a lot, and somebody in front of their house might think, hey, this is the kind of guy that I could um, hire to go and sing at our wedding or something like that. And I was thinking, I don't want to sing that much because I'm not really interested that much in being employed. Um, the thing is that I have fear for my trust, because it says that I can't be gainfully employed. So um, maybe I end up doing some free DJ work or something, or I get to be that person at the party who gets everybody involved in singing karaoke, because nobody wants to sing karaoke. So I end up just like going up there and trying some song, and everybody starts singing, and then they all want to do it. So I'm the guy who might thread the needle, get everybody involved in doing some singing, make them feel good, and they leave the party happy because they got involved, you know and I would be there, like, if they can't sing it by themselves, and I could help them sing it along, and we could share out a duet or something.